And in the top of there, putting some of this white back over that slightly. So it's not as wide. I want it a bit thinner. Even in there I might have it a bit thinner. You can get some lovely little effects with the knife. Just allow it to mix with that colour slightly. See, I want that in there, I just don't want it too distinct. Something like that is good. Just wanted it to fizzle off on that end. Come back with the flat of the knife. Gently go over that. Cool. Now, like in the sky, it's darker at the top. In this water down here, got a really lovely dark area just at the bottom edge all the way, so I'm just going to mix up some of that colour with some white. So we've used predominantly the same colour so far in this. Only difference when we do this, what we're going to do in there, I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. I'll leave it as a surprise. Block that darker colour in down there. Just down there in the water. Got little ripples and stuff going on. Yeah, we can just work up in these areas. So I'm basically working from light to dark, or dark to light, whichever way you want to do it. Just want to make sure that there's some lovely bits of movement close it up, you see. So I just switch from one side to the other. I have a habit of that. Frustrates the cameraman to high hell when I'm doing the DVDs. Again, make it like there's some movement going on in it, and you can start from dark and end up into the light. It's a fun painting to do. I think you guys are going to love it. You're going to really enjoy this. Something going on in there, don't know if it'll stand out in the slightest, but it might do. Just a little bit of something. Even put some little ripples and stuff going into there. You see, the wind's blown and this dark ridge here, that's like from the reflection, a slight reflection from that. Because the sun's quite high, you won't get a real big reflection anyway. Again, I can just go in here and blend it from dark to light again. Put some movement in there. Even when you go up here, you can pick up that light colour. You just take it down into the dark. Just in there. Really blend it out. I'm holding the knife so gently, I'm almost dropping it. You'll probably see me and notice me adjusting all the time. So I don't drop it. I'll just make it look like there's some movement. Just a bit of movement going on. Don't kill all this light, I just want to put a bit of it in there. Just the smallest of them all. Same in here. Some more paint now. We're nearly onto the fun part. This is the prep work basically that I've done up to now, all the background and for it to get the majority of it done. Just going to use this again and I'm going to come in here. Just integrate a little bit more of that white. Just under there. When you have too much on, you can go back in with just like so, easily. And that'll just help to make that little movement in the water stand out more, and the reflection in between it will be better. Even in there I can get some of that light and just bring it in. It's nice to get this movement. It's a blustery, probably a blustery windy day in this spot. Just keep working that knife off all the time and then you can blend off afterwards. Flatten it down so it's not too raised, because I want texture, I just don't want to have too much texture. Use a tiny bit of that white and just go in there. Cool. Right, now for the fun part, which is, I need to get some Van Dyke Brown, dark sienna, sorry, burnt sienna, Van Dyke Brown, burnt sienna, and then I'm going to get some of this dark lavender colour that we mixed, which has still got the glaze medium in it. I put it in all of that, so now because I'm mixing these with it, this is going to have some lovely stuff in it as well to give it a good shine and a good gloss. Right, so I'm going to cut across, get a big roll of paint. That's why I didn't put too much paint down in here, because basically know that this is going to come from here. I'm going to just start and I want to touch and just pull straight down. like that. And then from there, I'll actually have it coming towards me, so it's getting bigger. In fact, that needs to go slightly more over to that side. More like that. That's it. There. Should block in there quite easy. This is just very good and dark. Don't want it to be too thick just now, because I'm going to have to highlight it, you see. I'm just using it as a base colour so that I can highlight some planks of wood over the top. Cut across and get that little roller paint. It's mega important. Just in there, I want to see that you can touch with the knife and mark it out for yourself. See, that's not where I want it. I want it to come like that. Yeah, now that's marked for me. So I can just come in here and actually pick this paint up and just use that as a guide, a general guide. You can always tweak it once you've got it on there to get it even more perfect. But this is a place called Derwentwater in the Lake District, and it's got this beautiful little walkway going out into the water, and they actually moor their boats up and stuff here as well. I might even have it, I know I'm going to have some big posts for this, so before I go any further, I know that I need to actually make my life a little bit easier. I'm just going to use that same colour I used in the darker one. Cut across, get a bit of that. I'm just going to bring this a bit further on. You can get some pure white in like that. Just get some pure white, and then I can mix that back in there. And that needs to come down past so that that's not struggling there. I don't want it to be too wide. Just enough so it gives that indication it's coming close towards you from further away. There. I think something like that will be good enough. I had to do that before I did this side, you see. So now I can do this side. And again, I might just run through and give myself a guide first. And I want to run it through there. First, if you're paranoid, just put it a bit further in than the line. Then you can always make it bigger, you see, and it gives you a bit of practice doing it also. Put my hand so flat when I'm using this knife, I just put my finger in the water. Right. Now time to put my pallet down. I want to get this straight. I know it's hard for you guys, you can't actually see this side that I'm doing. See, again, I just touched my finger in there. So how flat you have to have your hand, it's a good indication for you, and how flat you have to have the knife to get that control. And again, I think I need to just change this a tiny bit. Now I just want to take off the excess without removing too much. Something about like so. You're always going to get parts where the knife digs in a bit to the canvas, but that's cool. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. So I'm going to mix that with some white now, just with some white. I'll show you this. Using this dark colour with the brown, some burnt sienna and some Van Dyke brown. Just in there. Don't want to make it too bright or too dark. I want it to be hopefully just right. I want to marble it slightly so it's not all exactly the same colour. See that? Right, I'm going to cut across that and just check it. The smaller and the further away from you the planks of wood, and as they come towards you, it's slightly bigger. What you can do as well, you can actually separate these planks. If you don't get them perfect, don't expect to get them perfect this time. You should never expect that. You can just put the paint down, and then once you've got the paint down, you can actually split it with some dark and create the individual planks, making them smaller in the distance and bigger in the foreground. What I might actually do as well, just going to put some of that just on there, all the way along. Oh. Same on the other side. Like there's a plank or something on either side of it. Again, I'm not working on being exact at the moment. I can tweak it as I go. And as you know me, I always do. But yeah, and run your knife through that. And then again, put some of that colour in for the planks. Sometimes you can just pull straight down. I like to mix a little bit with that colour. Just going to mix a bit more burnt sienna again with that colour. You have to mix a lot of colour up when you're working with a knife like this. You have to do it really regular. It's got a different tinge to it with that. Allow it to mix a bit with backlands as well. And it will actually mix with that dark underneath slightly, and that's what we actually want. You want it to mix slightly with that dark colour underneath. And you've got this little walkway going on in there. Them little shadows help actually, you know, on the sides. Much harder to actually build this, wouldn't it? than it is for me to paint it. I know that because I've done plenty of decking and stuff like that in my time. Especially doing it out into water as well, that'll make it even harder. Something about like so. A bit more colour just in there.